Naruto starts the series out as a no-talent underdog. The world hates him, so he decides to dedicate his whole being to training non-stop in order to prove them wrong and show them that someone with no talent can defy his destiny and become the Hokage. But Naruto's a hypocrite, because he's actually the child of prophecy and was destined from birth to become a great— Just kidding. That's the impression you would get if you watched the countless videos on how Naruto turns into a hypocrite who is the complete opposite of the character he was in the beginning. But in reality, none of these people, especially this guy, have probably watched this series properly, because Naruto is someone who's always defied destiny, even towards the end of the series, and had a consistent narrative formed around him since the beginning. Let me explain. Does Naruto really defy destiny? To answer that question, we have to first define it. Merriam-Webster defines destiny as a predetermined course of events often held to an irresistible power or agency. But you see, just using that definition would be disingenuous. Why? Because different series use that definition in different ways. For example, in Berserk, destiny is a concept manipulated by the idea of evil's use of causality. In My Hero Academia, destiny is defined by the future that is seen by Night Eye's quirk. In Attack on Titan, destiny is— I don't even know, to be honest. Different series define destiny by adding their own unique twist to it, and Naruto isn't an exception. So how does Naruto define destiny? Destiny in Naruto is actually split into three main principles, and the best way to explain those principles is to analyze the controversial conflict where destiny is first introduced to the series. Naruto versus Neji. Before the actual conflict between Naruto and Neji begins, the first principle of destiny is already established when Neji is fighting Hinata.
日向様に忠告しておく。危険しろ。あなたに忍びは向いていない。
A person's strength and personality is already established at birth and cannot change. Hinata was born a timid person who did not inherit the Hyuga clan abilities as strongly as Neji or even her own younger sister. Neji makes the case that Hinata should give up on becoming a ninja since she was born unfit to be one. The next two principles are introduced during the fight between Naruto and Neji.
その呪いの印は、カゴの中の鳥を意味し、逃れられない運命に縛られた者の証。
Labels you can't overcome are placed on you at a young age. These labels manifest themselves in the fight literally. Neji's curse mark and Naruto's nine-tailed fox. It's also not just Naruto and Neji. Even in the previous arc, Haku and his mother were attacked by his own father just because of the Kekkei Genkai they were born with. In the future of this series, we see how Jinchuriki are treated based on the simple fact that they have a tailed beast sealed inside of them. Even the smaller labels can fit in here, like Naruto being called a loser or failure, or Rock Lee having no talent.
運命でそう決められているんだよ。人はそれぞれ違う。逆らえない流れの中で生きるしかない。
Everything in life is determined before you are born. When people say Neji was right, they're usually talking about this principle, mostly because later in the story, Naruto is called the child of prophecy and ends up being a reincarnation of Ashura. But I'm here to tell you that's actually not a valid point. Stay tuned to find out why. If you analyze the fight between Neji and Naruto, it's actually a dialogue between the two where they pit their ideologies against each other. At first they have a standoff, sizing each other up. Neji notes that Naruto is confident, meaning that he has full faith in his belief system, which he previously doubted before the fight and was reassured by Hinata. The two are ready to duke it out, and immediately Neji gives Naruto his stance on the first two principles of destiny through his approach. During the fight, Neji strictly uses Gentle Fist and Byakugan, abilities that are only inherited by members of the Hyuga clan. His ruthless and direct approach affirms the first principle of destiny established. Neji saying that he was born with this strength. Neji even goes as far as to never use abilities that are common in the series, like substitution or the clone jutsu. Neji then challenges Naruto directly using the second principle of destiny. I am a genius, and you are a failure. He shows that through his use of the rotation and the 8 trigrams techniques, advanced jutsu reserved to the main branch of the Hyuga family that he mastered on his own without any of their help. He basically reinvented one of the best jutsu in the world on his own. Throughout the fight, he also constantly calls Naruto a failure and a fool, labels that Naruto had to deal with his whole life. After the two go back and forth, Neji decides to tell Naruto why he feels the way he feels towards Hinata and the main branch. This is where the second principle is furthered even more and where the third principle of destiny comes into play. My fate cannot be overcome. Neji explains that even though his father and the leader of the Hyuga clan were twins, his father was born second, therefore he wasn't able to inherit the main house of the Hyuga clan. This led to Neji, who despite being the most talented genin of all time and inheriting the most pure form of the Hyuga Kekkei Genkai, being relegated to a side branch of the Hyuga clan and marked with a curse mark that those in the main branch can use to control side branch members. Even worse, Neji explains that his father was killed in order to protect the leader of the Hyuga clan, simply because he was born a few minutes later. As compelling as the arguments Neji makes are, Naruto doesn't just lie down and accept defeat. He responds to Neji in the fight through his own way, which people seem to misunderstand. The first thing Naruto responds to is the second principle of destiny, and Naruto does it using the Nine Tails' power. Now, I know what you're thinking, but Moodley, the Nine Tails was something Naruto was born with, and it gives him this tremendous power, and it bails him out, and let me explain. All of this is true, but it's only true because Naruto makes it true. Up until this point in the story, the Nine Tails had only benefited Naruto twice. One while he was fighting Haku, and the other while he was fighting Orochimaru. The only other time it helped was healing small wounds here and there. Other than those rare situations, the Nine Tails was undoubtedly an overall detriment to Naruto. It excluded him from the rest of the village, making him a social outcast. It destabilized his chakra, making it harder for him to use advanced jutsu and chakra control. And it used Naruto to recover, eating away at his chakra and taking away from the natural amounts he was born with. Naruto took what was labeled as evil and largely the reason he was viewed negatively by the village and turned it into something he could use to his advantage. Naruto is saying that labels can be changed. After Naruto uses the Nine Tails' chakra to get back up, the two go back and forth for a bit. Then Naruto and Neji's chakra clash and an explosion occurs. When the dust clears, Neji emerges and we see Naruto lying on the ground, unconscious. Neji is about to be declared victorious, but Naruto surprisingly wins the fight by coming out of the ground, rising upward to knock out Neji. It's here that Neji reveals that the body lying on the floor was actually a clone. This is how Naruto proves the third principle of destiny wrong. Strength and personality can change. Naruto failed the graduation exam 3 times before passing. The reason he failed was because he couldn't create a proper clone of himself. He was also called a fool, stupid, dumb, and most of all, a failure. For him to have the creativity to not only beat but outsmart the #1 genin in the whole village destroys the idea that strength and personality is stagnant, especially for Naruto, who displayed all of the opposite qualities he had when he was younger. Now, this is where things get complicated though, because Naruto never actually addresses the third principle of destiny during the fight. Instead, Hiyashi is the one to tell Neji that his own father defied destiny by choosing to die himself, completely changing the context of the event that shaped Neji's view of destiny in the first place. While Neji is ultimately disproven by his own father's actions, Naruto not responding to the third principle of destiny can still leave you feeling a bit off, especially later on in the series when themes like lineage, prophecy, and reincarnation are explored. It almost feels like Naruto being the person who he is was decided before birth. But Naruto actually does address the third principle of destiny. It's just much later in the story during the Pain arc. During the Pain arc, destiny comes up again. Gamamura, the elderly toad, gives Jiraiya a prophecy that a student of his will either bring peace and stability to the world or great destruction. And which of those two he will bring will depend on a single decision that Jiraiya makes. This is where the confusion starts, because Jiraiya thinks right before he dies that Naruto is the child of prophecy. This is wrong, and even acknowledged to be wrong by the great Elder Toad himself. But for whatever reason, people will still run with the idea that Naruto is the sole child of prophecy. Naruto actually changed destiny in this situation. During his confrontation with Nagato, Naruto decides to pull out the book that Jiraiya wrote during his travels as a ninja. In this book, the main character is actually who Naruto is named after, but he's based off of Nagato and uses the same phrases and mannerisms that Nagato used as a child. This reminds Nagato of the person he used to be and the lessons Jiraiya taught him, pretty much ending the conflict and convincing Nagato to reverse the damage he had done to the Leaf Village. Naruto deciding to not fight Nagato had changed destiny. Now it was not just one of Jiraiya's pupils deciding the future of the world, it was both of them. The main character in the book Jiraiya wrote was a symbol of this because he was a combination of Naruto and Nagato. Naruto was able to change a prophecy set years before he was even born. This is where Naruto finally counters the third principle of destiny. Fate is never set in stone. I also want to address a counter argument that people might have. The main criticism that people seem to have with Naruto is the fact that he is a reincarnation of Ashura. I want to give a real quick shout out to the Outlook for giving a pretty in-depth rundown of reincarnation in Naruto, so go check out his video after this, link in the description. But reincarnation in Naruto is also a misunderstood concept. The only thing that Naruto being the reincarnation of Ashura guarantees is that he'll have some type of ideological disagreement with the reincarnation of Indra, Sasuke, which will result in a battle to the death. It doesn't guarantee power, it doesn't guarantee talent, and it doesn't even guarantee personality. I mean, look at the different reincarnations. Naruto barely shares any similarities with Hashirama, who barely shares any similarities with Ashura himself. Even the battle to the death never really happens in the series, because Naruto and Sasuke actually defeat Black Setsu, the one who was manipulating the reincarnation throughout the years, then settle their ideological differences through one last conflict. So, in a way, Naruto being a reincarnation, yet somehow stopping all of the predetermined events that are associated with it, further cements the fact that he fought against destiny. I used to think that Neji was right was honestly just a joke in the community, but with the topic of destiny being brought up again due to events that happened in other series, I realized that people unironically believe that. And don't get me wrong, the series definitely handled some things pretty poorly, but destiny is not one of those things. Naruto proved destiny can be changed. He went from a failure and a fool to the reliable Hokage of a village. He overcame the labels placed on him due to being the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails. And lastly, he changed the path that was laid out for him by things like prophecy and reincarnation. To say that he's a hypocrite would just be a blatant mischaracterization. Hey guys, it's Moodly. First of all, thanks for watching the video, and I also want to talk about what I want out of this channel with you guys. We have almost 50 subs, which is legitimately crazy to me. That's like a whole football team. But anyways, my goal for now is to just kind of release analysis of a bunch of different series I like and hopefully build a community out of it. But I kind of realized over the course of making this video that releasing a vid every 2 weeks is not really the best way to do that. But I also don't have the resources to speed up the process of writing, revising, recording, editing, and uploading longer videos more often. So from here on, I'll probably start releasing smaller, less organized, like 5 to 10 minute videos on different topics once or twice a week, but still release these longer videos every other week because I like to do them, honestly. Speaking of content, expect some Bleach, Chainsaw Man, and Mob Psycho 100 videos coming soon. Anyways, thanks again for watching the video, and if you enjoyed it, give it a like and subscribe to the channel. It'll help a lot. Also, leave a comment if there's anything about this video you liked or if there's anything you didn't like. Any constructive criticism is appreciated. I'll see y'all again soon. Peace.